We've been developing technology for about the past 19 years. We're very passionate about technology that allows connectivity to happen. We're really good at making stuff, but these days we feel we have a really firm duty to be part of this incredible ecosystem that is connecting everybody together. I think over the last several years in particular, the demand for really good quality connectivity is really paramount, and without us that just doesn't happen. Of course, our background heritage is maritime. Maritime will always stay close to our hearts, what we call our bread and butter. But because of our successes in maritime, and in fact what we tend to do is we take the complexity out. We look at challenges in terms of technology from different angles, and we try to simplify them and, if possible, commoditize them as best we can. So because we've been very, very successful from a maritime perspective, a lot of the global onlookers have really seen what Intellian is capable of. So these days we are more involved, or getting more involved, into enterprise-based parts of our business. Land is really becoming really incredible. One example is our partnership with a company called OneWeb. Is really, really important to society, to the global ecosystem. OneWeb are doing some really incredible things in terms of hard-to-reach areas as part of their business. So with our partners, OneWeb, other partners such as Inmarsat, Marlink, etc., we're all doing some really amazing things together, us as the hardware manufacturer, them as a solutions and the operator, just to bring great connectivity. That's what we're all about, is looking at how do we get great connectivity to the hard-to-reach areas, how do we bring quality of life to the maritime user, how do we connect a village in the middle of Africa. So yeah, we've got a big part in all that. So yeah, we're very, very, very pleased where we are right now. I think there's a number of elements to empowering what we stand for. Of course, technology, smart technology, is of course really, really key. Simplifying the product down to a level where it can be mass deployed. It can also incorporate, I wouldn't say levels of AI, but the ability to monitor the quality of the connectivity, the connection, the quality of the hardware. So a smart system as such is becoming really, really important. Of course, vessels these days are becoming smart. HHI are building the smart ship, and they need lots and lots of data, and that data has to be taken shoreside for analysis, etc. So we are becoming a really critical part of that. So it's not necessarily just about the smart system, it's about the reliability, the compactability of the system. And I think it's also about the ability to meet the current pace of demand. Right now, driven by COVID in particular, the demand is 3 to 4 times that we saw 2 years ago. So everybody wants to be connected. Everybody wants to have their devices connected. Everybody wants to have their 10 iPads connected or their phones connected. It's crazy. And so to be connected, you have to have the ability to connect. So yeah, definitely our technology is smart technology in terms of monitoring, simplicity of use, plug and playness. But I think when I think smart technology, I think about the ability to provide it on time, provide it globally, allow it to plug and play very quickly. For example, your phone, when you bought your phone, you didn't really have a big instruction manual to, and that's where we're heading. We want the ability to have a terminal like this, where you can take it out of the box, you can plug it in, press a couple of buttons, and you're calibrated. That is really important to us, because then if we can make that happen, we can share that to the masses. One of the problems these days is that the global volume, number of technicians that used to install these products, it's getting less and less and less and less and less. So we're thinking about how to literally take it out of the box, one cable, turn it on, and off you go. So that's really, really key for us. We've always been, driven by thought leadership. So we're constantly challenging ourselves about how to approach problems. Our leadership team is relatively small, so it's very fluid, very dynamic. So we don't have a lot of bureaucracy in Intellian, which is a really great thing. Some may disagree. So we come to conclusions very, very quickly. We are so passionate about what we do, from CEO down to the layman, the juniors in our company. And we're very, very much about people and growth. We're about empowerment of our team. So we look at all the different dynamics. Our CEO will gladly pick up the telephone and speak to somebody he's never spoken to before that could be integrating a system in a different country. So we're very open about our approach. We're strong listeners. We're very astute at what's going on around us. But I think, core to our value is our people. We've got great people. We've come to learn empowering great people, hiring great people, keeping them energized, energetic, and happy is the secret to our success. So thought leadership, absolutely, in terms of technology and development, and we work very closely with our partners for that. But I absolutely think that people, our lifeblood, is critical to our leadership, absolutely. And in fact, we are maturing juniors up to be future vice presidents and head of divisions. That's really important to us. That's a great question. So, we saw a build-up in the demand for our products, not just our product, but this kind of product, because everybody wants to be connected. And then COVID happened, and everybody was isolated. And just imagine being a crew member that was stuck at sea for a year without his family and not having the ability to send a message. That would be disastrous. So I think the value of connectivity during this pandemic was amplified 100-fold. The value of being able to contact one's loved ones, being able to send a message to a friend, your wife, your husband, your kids, watch content was paramount. And so we saw, and I think it's another important statement for us is that in tune with our smart technology, in our ability to try and simplify the installation of our hardware, when it was practically impossible to get a skilled technician on board a vessel, we were still able to send the system to a vessel and the crew would install it. And so that would keep people connected. And we saw that the volume of demand went up and up and more and more and more. So I think in terms of what we've seen over the last 4 years is unprecedented. In fact, we are delivering 3 to 4 times the volume that we did pre-COVID. Because I think that everybody's realized connectivity is paramount. Quality connectivity, the ability to connect, the crew, have a really great working environment from an enterprise perspective is really key. So it all connects over this, absolutely. You don't have this, you're not connected. During, again, COVID was very defining for us. We've always been very focused on investment because for us there's no end game. It's constant investment, it's constant evolvement, and we established that a decade ago. So we constantly look at the challenges ahead of us. COVID allowed us to look at them in a bit more focused manner, and where, with all due respect, many corporations had time to breathe, we went the other way. We pushed even harder, and so we decided to really map out where our core investment should be. So 2 weeks ago, I returned back from our headquarters in Korea. I hadn't been there for 2 years prior, and I was shocked at the amount of evolution, the investment that we've seen. A brand new 8-story R&D center, the build of a second factory we call F2, the enhancement of our first factory, the implementation of a dedicated global logistics center, the opening up of our Intellian headquarters in Rotterdam, which is also a key logistics center. So it's huge investment. I think in terms of the Middle East, we were allowed to kind of take stock of our position, and the ability to supply on time is really important. I think I mentioned that earlier. The traffic and the volume in the Middle East is accelerating. In fact, I spoke to a partner in Washington about 3 weeks ago, and she said that my customers are now queuing for VSAT technology. We can't get it fast enough. So the ability to deliver quickly, on time, different sizes of antennas to the Middle East is really helping empower the Middle East business. Of course, we can all agree that energy is booming. It's been stagnant for 10 years. So huge profits, also great investments. So a lot of the technology in offshore OSV in the Middle East has actually been quite stagnant for about a decade. So now they have this new cash, this ability to invest. They're now replacing all the hardware for the new, more modern hardware. And I think it's something we haven't discussed yet, is that there is a huge evolution in satellite topology technology. And historically it was all based on geostationary networks. Now you have a mix of non-geostationary and geostationary networks. And that's becoming more complicated for the terminal user. So our terminals have the ability to be placed onto a geostationary network and a non-geostationary network as well. So that's given people in the Middle East, our partners in the Middle East, that choosing our hardware allows them to evolve. If they choose to go on network A, they can. Network B, C, D, E, they can as well. So we give them more choice, basically. I think in terms of next steps, I can't say too much, but we're very, very keen on investing into the Middle East. We love the Middle East. We love the people there. We've got great partners in the Middle East, and it's very, very high on our agenda to empower their business. If they can't get great quality hardware at the right time for the right market, they can't do business. So we're very, very well aware of that. So we've seen our business grow, I would say 80 to 90% in the Middle East, pre-COVID, and certainly during COVID because of the habits and the changes, etc. So yeah, and I believe we're going to have a Middle East event, a partner event, around October, November time this year. And you know, I was talking to my colleague earlier, what should that event be about? And I think it should be about celebration of partnership. So I think we're going to have a really great event, a bit of a party, just to thank our partners in the Middle East for all of their great business.